The craziest thing that happened is that on meet day that morning, she fainted in her room, fainted in her hotel room. What's up, guys? Will Personal Training here, making another video today. I'm here to talk about me and my client, Isabella. She competed in powerlifting and we qualified for nationals. She's 17 years old in the 52 kilogram class. She weighed in at 117 pounds and we qualified for powerlifting nationals, okay? This is so fucking sick. Like, this is one of the, this was a dream of mine to take a client to nationals. I'm at the ripe age of 22. I'm taking this girl to nationals. We're going to be with the best of the best. I'm going to meet the best of the best coaches. She's going to kill it. I looked at last year's nationals. I looked at their numbers. Like, it's so realistic. She's a crazy phenom. She's so sick. And we're going to take a look at her meet footage. And we're going to talk about her meet today. So I want to go into a little bit of background with me and her. We started training together in we started training together in November of 2020. And that was when she first started lifting with me. Like, she had lifted in her previous past a few years ago, but didn't, stopped doing it. And then she got back with me, and that was her first time touching a barbell in years. Like, we started off with a 95 squat for sets of 5. She didn't even ever bench press ever in her life, and she was deadlifting 95 for sets of 5. She was deadlifting that. Now, at 117 pounds, 16 years old, when we first met, that was actually some sick starting numbers. So I knew she had some potential in her. And we had been working together, and what is this? We competed 7 months or 8 months after just initially starting, and she's qualified for nationals. Like, that just goes to tell you, like, obviously my coaching style and my programming for her like fit perfectly with her body and how her body works and her progression and everything like that. And she should tell you another thing, that she's a freaking phenom and she has like elite genetics. Like, she's gonna be so sick if she sticks with powerlifting. Like, me and her can go so far. And we've been doing some heavy lifting. We've been doing mainly just full body 3 times a week workouts. I don't think we've done anything except full body 3 times a week since we first started, and she just made crazy gains on it. And she's been doing incredible. So we'll look at each lift one by one, and we'll talk a little bit about each lift.
Isabella Rivera, 214 pounds, platform 1.
Push it! Woo! So that was her third squat. She did 214 pounds on the squat at 117 pounds. Her squat is definitely her biggest genetic strength, I'd say. She is so good at squats. She went from a 95 squat for sets of 5 to a 214 squat that was not even RPE 10. It was about RPE 9.5 in less than a year. Like that's just so crazy. Our best squat we did in training was a 210, and we did 210 twice for one. One was questionable depth, and the other one was great depth. And we did that in training, and that was sick. And it was at an RP of 9, I'd say. And so I went to the meet, and I said she easily can do at least 220. And all we needed was a 214 squat to get that nationals qualification. So that's what we did. And her peak went so good. She gets so much out of the peak. Her strength at least increases, I'd say a good 5% from her peak. Just in general, like, she'll hit just from that week off or the 5 days off before the meet, she'll hit some sick number that she didn't have in training, but now that she's completely peaked, that she can totally hit. It's just, she'll do some lifts that are hard in training, and then when it comes to meet day, it'll be like her second attempt easily. Just crazy.
Let's go!
So her bench press, she did a 126 pound bench press. Okay, so she's a big, great bencher. Like, she didn't even want to bench press. When we first started working out together, It took me 2 months of training before we did our first bench press, okay? And we did her first competition in March, okay? So she did her first competition in March, benched over 100 pounds, okay? Easily, with 2 months of bench pressing in her life, like never bench pressing ever, okay? And then in this meet, she did 126 bench, right? And we barely do any accessories. We do overhead press accessories, and the main is just benching. It's just crazy. She's so good at it. I can see a 150-pound bench by the end of the year, like easily. Like it's gonna be great. Like it's gonna be great. Her bench is gonna go through the roof, and yeah, so 126 wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. So that deadlift, she did a 203-pound deadlift. All right, as you can tell, her deadlift is her weak point. I did have her pulling sumo, and I switched her to conventional because she's actually stronger conventional, and you can just tell by her body and the way she is that she's going to be stronger conventional. At this point, we had hit the squat we wanted to hit, we had hit the bench we wanted to hit, and it was deadlift time. And I was projected that she could probably do a 210 deadlift because we did a 195 single, super easy in training. And all we needed was a 203. So I was like, okay, we're putting 203 in the bar, and this is going to be so easy. She's definitely going to get this. To be honest, I was super worried about her squat. Like, that's the thing I had the most worry about. And on her squat, she had a little, faulty unrack on her third attempt, and that, like, made my heart sink to the floor. But she ended up killing it. And after that, I was pretty much sure, like, okay, we got this nationals qualification. We got this for sure. And when she walked up to the bar with 203 in there, I was just like, obviously my heart's racing because I want my client to make nationals and I want her to do amazing. But I knew she had it. Like, I knew she was gonna just pull this shit and then off to Nats next time, So yeah, there it was. And then she secured a 545 total with that pull. Pretty sick total, 117 pounds, 17 years old. She turned 17 about a month before the meet. And there you go, yeah. Okay, so here's some crazy shit that we had to deal with before the meet that could have like blown everything away. We were trying to do a water cut down to the 114 class, aka the 52 kilogram class. She ended up being in the 57 kilogram class, and we had started her water cut a week out. I started her with a half gallon of water, and I was going to taper her up to 2 gallons, and then taper her down to I think I had her finish off with a third of a gallon on her very last day. And she gained 3 pounds, she gained 2.5 pounds from 116. No, maybe it was 3 pounds, 116 to 119 pounds on her first 3 days of the water cut. She drank 2 gallons of water and gained a pound the next day. She was basically eating a lot of food. Like, we were not regulating her food. I was just regulating her water because her weight usually sticks around 116 to 118 just normally. And I figured, like, okay, this water cut, that's like 3% of her weight we need to lose to get to 114.6. Shouldn't be too bad. And yeah, it went bad, okay? And we were very dead set on doing this water cut to the 114 class. So the difference between the national qualifying total is 39 pounds between the 52 class and the 57 class. And what that would basically mean is that she could qualify in all her openers for the 52 class. And we're like, okay, we don't even need to have a hard meet. Let's just do this water cut and make it. And if we fail it, we can still qualify. We just need to have a perfect meet, which she luckily did. So we had to do some crazy caloric restriction the past 2 days because I got very worried. I said, okay, your weight is not going how we need it. We need to take some drastic cuts here, okay? We cut out sodium hard. I wasn't really controlling her sodium, which is a mistake. We cut out calories and carbs hard, obviously, because carbs retain water. And we were trying to get her weight down like bang fast. And she ended up getting down from 119 to 116. But obviously 116 is not 114, okay? And the craziest thing that happened is that on meet day that morning, she fainted in her room, fainted in her hotel room from obviously diet restrictions. She woke up, went to the bathroom, fainted on her way back to bed. Like, is someone going to have a good meet day when they faint? You wouldn't think so. But the protocol to refill her with nutrients and sodium and stuff is obviously like pretty simple and straightforward. So she was able to be fine. She performed fucking amazingly despite these crazy stuff. Like how many people are you gonna see have crazy caloric restriction 2 days before meet and come in and just hit every max at an RP 9.5? Okay, you're never gonna see that. Like that was some crazy stuff. I was just so blown away, and I was very worried at first. Obviously, I didn't let her know that I was worried, but she found it eventually. And if she watches this video, she'll find out. Because that's you don't want to see that for your client. You don't want to see your client faint. Number one, you don't want to see a client faint on meet day. That's the fucking worst. So, but yeah, we got through that, and she did fucking sick. And here we are. We're going to Nats next year. Okay. Next thing we have up is we're gonna compete one more time this year, and we're gonna try to go for the Florida record in the squat, which is 237. Okay, and she squatted 214 at a 9.5. Like she's gonna easily get this record. And the girl that actually has this record beat her in her last meet and has not made gains really in the past year at all on anything. I checked her database. So it's looking good for us because she's going to make some sick fucking gains. So yeah. All right, guys, that was the meet recap. And it's so sick to be a coach that has taken a lifter to nationals. So, all right, guys, have a good one. Later.